Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to install front brake pads and rotors on a 2006 Nissan Frontier. So the first thing you want to do is take the caliper bolts off. There's just two, one on the top, one on the bottom. You're going to need to use a crescent wrench too to hold this piece. It's kind of like a safety thing, so if you don't use that, the whole screw is just going to keep spinning. So use the crescent wrench with the socket wrench and take the top and bottom off. After that, then you can remove the caliper. I usually just put it on top of the rotor, or if you get a cinder block, you can put it on that. Just make sure that the brake line isn't being pulled. And then what you want to do is take the brake pads out. Nissans have that little wire to kind of hold them in. You don't really need that, but if you want to put it in after you do the install, go ahead. Okay, so take the brake pads out, and you want to take the two bolts that hold the bracket in place. So it's kind of in the same area, one on the top, one on the bottom. Okay, use your breaker bar if you need to. I like using a pipe over my breaker bar, it gives it more leverage. Okay, and then go ahead and take the shims off the old pads and put them on your new pads. Make sure, of course, the same one goes on the same pad. Okay, so after that, then you want to take the rotor off, which it should just come right off. If it doesn't, take a rubber mallet and bang the rotor and it should pop off. Okay, and then go ahead and install your new one. Use some brake clean and spray the new rotor because it does have grease on it from the factory so it doesn't rust. So spray the brake clean on there, wipe it off, and everything is in reverse order. So put the new rotor on, and then what you want to do is take a C-clamp and one of the old brake pads and push your pistons back in. Usually for two piston calipers, you got to do one at a time, and you kind of have to rotate back and forth. So make sure it's flat into the actual caliper, and then put the bracket back on. So the two bolts that hold the bracket into the knuckle. Okay, screw those in, make them tight. Alright, and then go ahead and put your new brake pads in. So just slide them into the slots. So there's the back one. Here's the front one. Okay, so bottom slot first, push in the top slot, and press it against the rotor. Make sure they're nice and snug. And then put your little wire thing back in if you want to. I think Nissan's like the only company that does that, seriously. Okay, and then go ahead and put the caliper back on. And put the two screws that hold the caliper in, one on the top, one on the bottom. And again, you're going to need to use your crescent wrench to tighten those all the way up. Okay, so there you go, crescent wrench, make the top one tight, make the bottom one tight, and that's it. So I hope this helped you.